Welcome in to NFL Daily by Chat Sports. I am Will Scott. We have a loaded show for you here. A lot of rumors, specifically quarterback extension rumors, to talk about on today's show. It is going to be an eventful offseason, and it all starts with quarterbacks that are probably going to reset the market. I do want to ask you all this. Which team is going to have the best offseason? Go down in the comment section. Which team is going to be the most aggressive this offseason and result in the best offseason amongst any other team in the league? Go down in the comment section and let me know. It could be the Eagles. You know, they got a lot to figure out, starting with a possible Jalen Hurts extension. Could an extension be on the way? Here's what Howie Roseman said about that. Obviously, we want to keep our players here for the long term, and he's certainly one of our best players. So that's something we'll keep all the contract talks internal, but we definitely like to keep Jalen Hurts here long term. I think we have a good sense of what we need to do here. We have a little bit of time here, too, to kind of figure it out and get it away and discuss that. But at the end of the day, the most important thing is keeping our best players here, and Jalen's certainly one of our best players. So Eagles general manager Howie Roseman talking about the possibility of extending Jalen Hurts. In fact, NFL writer Ben Volin, who's very much plugged in, reports that an extension could come before next week's NFL Combine. So it could be as early as next week that we see the first quarterback this offseason get extended. Here are some guys that could get extended, and I did not include Daniel Jones on this because he's a free agent. Jalen Hurts, he's going into year 4. And the interesting situation with Jalen, and he's unlike some other guys here, he doesn't have a fifth-year option that got picked up because he was a second-round pick. So he would be a free agent next year if the Eagles do not extend him. So I think it's going to be a priority for Howie and company to get that done. Joe Burrow. I mean, Joe Burrow might get $70 million a year. Like, he's going to get a lot of money. Justin Herbert, probably $45 to $50 million range as well. And then Lamar Jackson. Now, is Lamar going to get traded and then extended or extended by Baltimore? That's something we're going to have to wait and see. Here are the highest paid quarterbacks per year this past season. Man, that Patrick Mahomes deal looks like a steal right now. He just made but still $43 million this past season. You have Aaron Rodgers, where's he going to play next year? He made over 50. Russell Wilson, $49 million. Kyler Murray, 46. Deshaun Watson, $45 million this past year in terms of annual. That's annual value, average annual value that you're looking at in terms of highest paid quarterbacks. But the market is going to reset this offseason. You have 4 really high-level quarterbacks, maybe 4 top 10 quarterbacks, arguably, that could all get extended. Jalen Hurts is going to be probably the first one. And I feel like once Hurts gets extended, then we're going to start to see how the market's going to shape out for some of those other guys. I feel like some of these GMs are like, I don't want to be the first one to extend a quarterback. But I would make the argument it might be better to extend your quarterback first, because let's say Hurts gets $45 million per year, then Joe Burrow and Justin Herbert are going to want $50. So we'll see what goes down. Who's going to be the first quarterback extended? I believe it's going to be Jalen Hurts, but go down in the comments section. Let me know who is going to be the first quarterback extended. You've also heard from Cincinnati that they plan on extending Joe Burrow here in the coming weeks as well. Let's get into another quarterback now. Daniel Jones, what's the latest with his contract situation? When you're looking at his contract, it's probably going to be one of the more intriguing contracts, not just at the quarterback position, but in the entire National Football League. We're going to get into that in a second. But first, I want to tell you about today's show sponsor, Athletic Greens. I take AG1 by Athletic Greens literally every single day. Get comprehensive and convenient daily nutrition at athleticgreens.com/chatsports. I gave AG1 a try because I wanted better gut health, and I wanted a supplement that actually tastes great. I take AG1 every morning, and it makes me feel ready to take on my day. I came into this year wanting to get healthier, and starting my year on AG1 has helped me do just that. I take it every morning. I feel happier, healthier, and more energized. Covering my nutritional basis for the day literally could not be any easier, which is why I trust Athletic Greens. I just mix 1 small scoop of AG1 with water and drink it first thing each morning. Done. I also like that it costs less than $3 a day. It's pretty good if you ask me. It's a really effective daily habit with the highest quality sourced ingredients. Win-win. If a comprehensive solution is what you need from your supplement routine, then Athletic Greens is giving you a free, I repeat, free 1-year supply of vitamin D and 5 free travel packs with your first purchase. So go to athleticgreens.com/chatsports. That's athleticgreens.com/chatsports. Check them out. That link is in the comments and the description of today's video. I came into 2023 really wanting to get healthier, and just looking at my everyday diet, I'm like, this is a problem. Just ask producer Jack Lauderay. I was having like 3 Dr. Peppers a day. It was not good. Then I'm like, okay, what can I drink that tastes good that's actually good for me? Then luckily I discovered Athletic Greens, and I feel so much better every single day taking it. I can really feel the difference on the days that I forget to take it. I can tell you that much. I really need to take it every day, and luckily I've gotten into a routine where I'm doing that. athleticgreens.com/chatsports. Again, that link is in the comments and the description of today's video. Let's talk about Daniel Jones. Dolph Kleiman tweeted this out this morning. Giants QB Daniel Jones wants more than New York has offered him, possibly as much as $45 million a year or more, a source tells Mike Florio, Pro Football Talk. And this is really interesting. Jones has recently switched agents from CAA to Athletes First. I don't care if you have the best agent in the world. He's not going to get $45 million per year. Just not going to happen. I think $30 to $35 million is a reasonable range for Daniel Jones, something that makes sense for both him and the Giants. Taking a look at what he did this year, solid numbers, not awesome numbers, but solid, and they won games this year in New York for the first time in a while. 67.2% completion percentage, over 3,200 yards, over 700 rushing yards, which is pretty crazy. Danny Dimes with the wheels. 15 passing touchdowns, 7 rushing touchdowns, 5 picks on the year. I like Daniel Jones. I do. He's not worth $45 million a year. I mean, it's literally more than Patrick Mahomes is making annually right now. I mean, it's just crazy. I get it. The market's going to reset this offseason. You're probably going to have Herbert get more than that. You're probably going to have Joe Burrow, Jalen Hurts, and Lamar Jackson potentially all make more than $45 million per year. But Daniel Jones is just in a lower tier. He's not right there yet, at least. I think he's a solid quarterback. I think he's worth maybe $30, $35 million a year, especially considering the way that he kind of developed under Brian Dable this past year, but over $45 million a year for Daniel Jones is just crazy. How much is Danny Dimes worth per year? Go down in the comments section. Let me know. If he does get $45 million per year, oh my goodness, the market would explode. It wouldn't just reset, but the market would explode. Joe Burrow might want 60. Justin Herbert might want 55. I mean, it would be crazy if Daniel Jones got $45 million per year. It's a big quarterback show. If you can tell, let's talk about a rookie quarterback, at least this next year. CJ Stroud, who is one of the top quarterbacks in the NFL draft. Could he be headed to Dallas? A source tells Sports Illustrated. The Cowboys are, quote, intrigued by the Ohio State star quarterback, who put up over 40 touchdowns this past year at Ohio State. I think he won a lot of his over during the playoff game. I mean, he almost single-handedly won that game for Ohio State against Georgia, and we all saw how good of a team Georgia is, blowing out TCU in the Natty. Over 3,600 passing yards this year for Stroud, just 6 picks. So when you're talking about him going to Dallas, though, I mean, Dallas would obviously have to trade up for him. They don't have that high of a draft pick. He's probably going to be a top 5 pick, maybe even a top 2 pick. So I just don't think it's very realistic for this to happen, but it is interesting to hear that they're potentially interested because that means that Dallas has doubts about Dak Prescott. If that report is true, then maybe Dallas is questioning if Dak Prescott is going to be their quarterback going forward. Should the Cowboys trade up for CJ Stroud? Y for yes, in for no, down in the comments section. Go down, let me know. Should Dallas trade up for Ohio State quarterback CJ Stroud? They'd probably have to go into the top 5, probably multiple first-round picks, future first-round picks that would have to happen, maybe even a player or two as well. And that's why it's not realistic, right? I get the concerns with Dak Prescott. I mean, especially after that divisional round game against San Francisco. I think a lot of Cowboys fans have mixed feelings about Dak, and Dak's a solid quarterback. The interceptions this year were a serious problem. CJ Stroud is a generational talent, potentially. I really like Stroud. I mean, when I'm looking at these quarterbacks, I'm like, Bryce Young, CJ Stroud are here. Everyone else is down here. Maybe a guy like Hendon Hooker is right there, but Hooker has the torn ACL. So we'll see what happens. But if Dallas wants to go up and get a quarterback, I don't think it should be Will Levis. I don't think it should be Anthony Richardson. It should be a guy like CJ Stroud or Bryce Young. Is it realistic, though? No. Let's get into some coaching news before we let you go here today. Adam Schefter tweeting this. Pretty big news. Chargers defensive coordinator Renaldo Hill is leaving L.A. to reunite with Miami defensive coordinator Vic Fangio and become the Dolphins' defensive pass game coordinator per source. Hill was Fangio's top target, and out of respect to his former boss, Chargers head coach Brandon Staley allowed his defensive coordinator to leave L.A. for Miami. So it's very rare that you see a coach take a demotion. So Renaldo Hill goes from being the Chargers DC, and granted, he wasn't the defensive play caller in L.A. That was Brandon Staley, but still, he leaves a DC job for a defensive pass game coordinator job, but it apparently is a multi-year deal in Miami. He gets to go back and work for Vic Fangio, and Hill did play in Miami for a few seasons, by the way. Spent 10 years in the NFL, a couple seasons with the Dolphins, so maybe that's why Hill thought it made sense. But either way, whatever you think about the decision from Hill, this is a heck of a hire from Vic Fangio and the Miami Dolphins. Some more coaching news here. The Eagles are trying to fill their DC vacancy after Jonathan Gannon left for the Arizona Cardinals head coaching job. And Jeremy Fowler tweeted this morning. The Eagles have interviewed former Wisconsin defensive coordinator Jim Leonhard as they look to fill their DC job, per league source. Leonhard was a 10-year NFL safety who's respected in league circles. So Leonhard was the interim head coach for Wisconsin after serving as a defensive coordinator there several years, and did a great job as the interim head coach, but they hired Luke Fickell, so Leonhard left. He's looking for NFL gigs. This would be a great hire. Any vacancy that's come about at the defense coordinator position, I've been like, go look at Jim Leonhard, and the Eagles have done that, and I hope they hire him, because I think it'd be a really good hire, and I think it makes some sense for both sides. Jeremy Fowler also tweeted this, more coaching news. Jim Bob Cooter, great name, is expected to be named offensive coordinator for the Indianapolis Colts per sources. Last year's pass game coordinator with Jacksonville was former Lions offensive coordinator, worked with quarterbacks Peyton Manning, Matthew Stafford, and Trevor Lawrence. And I think you saw the job that Jim Bob Cooter did with Trevor Lawrence this past year. I mean, you look at the numbers from his rookie season to second year. I mean, it's night and day. So great hire here for Shane Steichen, the new Colts head coach. Jim Bob Cooter staying in the division, but getting a promotion. Appreciate all of you watching today's show. We're going to have you covered with all NFL news, rumors, trade rumors, also NFL draft content as well. Go down, subscribe to the channel.